Here we are at our flip that we did for Christmas this year. Tyler Jensen kind of had everything up. Andy kind of got the family and everything started for us. And what's kind of amazing about this flip is we did it in 6 days, which I didn't think we could do. Basically because of Tyler's expertise. Why don't you talk about that and how that worked out?
It was just all about being super organized. So we planned this since October, I think, right?
Yeah. I think it was like November? 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
6 weeks ago we planned it out, and then I coordinated guys with all of our team and subs and contractors just to make sure everyone could be here. I know that I talked with you. I'm like, hey, guys have to show up when they say they're going to show up.
No flakes.
Or everything domino effects and it ruins the whole thing. So luckily we had awesome guys that showed up. We had a ton of volunteers and it worked out really well. We've probably had 60 to 70 different people throughout this project.
So I was over here one morning randomly helping her. It gets windy up here, so her trash was blowing all over her yard. So I came over and helped her with that. And I noticed there were some carpet samples. It's 8:23 on Monday, December 27th. Rick just texted that Elvis has left the building. Game on. This for me is personal because I've known this family for 18 years, but there's some tragedy in their family. Her husband passed away. And as she was sitting there thinking about it, she's like, well, what color do you think I should do? And she's in this state of like, I mean, she's grieving, she's dealing with all this, and she's thinking about picking carpet, which it was super cool that somebody was going to give her carpet, but she's just like, had decision fatigue. She couldn't do any of that stuff. I said, are you okay if we helped you with some of this stuff? And she said, well, yeah, that would be great. So we went around the whole house.
Shar thinks that we're just doing carpet. She has no idea that everything else is going to happen, but we're going to fully renovate her whole house in 6 days.
And I hope at the end of all this, she feels the love of everybody, the neighbors, the friends, people that didn't even know her, just the community coming together. I hope when she sees this house, she just sees a big hug from everybody, recognizing it's going to be okay.
Just every time I come home and remember that God loves me, He's aware of us, you know what I mean? Like, I will never stop being grateful and aware of that. Like, oh my gosh.
And so it'll be a brand new kitchen, new bathrooms, granite countertops, new flooring throughout the whole house.
So I know she's okay with things changing, but she didn't want to ask for anything. But she will be so grateful, and she's gonna love it.
I've flipped several hundred houses. The idea of doing a remodel this big, $60,000 in 6 days, it's straight science fiction. It's absurd. I mean, we brought a bunch of the best flippers here to do this, but it's gonna be really hard to get this done in 6 days. We're gonna start right now, let's go. So we're completely removing all the cabinets.
All the appliances, all of that has to go.
Man, we got like 30 people here right now. Seem to have a little problem with older plumbing and older electrical, worried that some of the water lines could be leaking.
When we were doing this kitchen remodel, we were going to take out this drop down, which is usually empty. It was actually hiding a structural beam that's holding up the roof here. So we have 42-inch cabinets, but we only have room for a 36-inch cabinet, which we can't get in the next 6 days.
Because we are surprising her and she doesn't know that we were gonna do all this stuff to her kitchen, we kind of talked about that area getting pulled out so we can take the cabinets higher, but we couldn't check it. You know, in a normal flip, we would have checked that before we started tearing into it. But on this case, we just kind of had to hope. And a lot of times we see those and they're false or something and they're easy to remove. We find out that it's a beam. So now we have cabinets that are the wrong size, which we had to pre-order. Now that the cabinets are the wrong size and we don't think we can get those, I mean, normally it takes 6 weeks to get cabinets. And now what we're stuck with is seeing if the cabinet guy can get us 32-inch cabinets instead of the 40-inch cabinets that we had to fit that space. One of the biggest obstacles that's not like flipping a house is that we had to move all of their furniture out.
Man, that was a nightmare. That was easy.
We're also replacing all the decking on these 2 decks. So we found the cabinet guy that's gonna get us the 32-inch cabinets. We brought them over. The next day, they're 30-inch. So they still don't fit. So now we've got him working to get us 32 inches. I think if we do a little bit with the crown molding, it's gonna look really nice. It's just kind of a miracle that he had these cabinets lying around. Luckily, it was only 2 in a corner cabinet that we really had to worry about. So we got lucky that we were able to pull that off.
to keep it.
Blow up.
That's awesome. I'm a little nervous about this because this can was left right by the vent. Feel how hot that is. Like, this is a pressurized can. I'm worried that it's just gonna like all over the place. We'll see. All good. My fears were for nothing. Supposed to shake it for 30 seconds. All right. Honestly, if the can wasn't crappy, it would have been a work of art. But for some reason, that can just kept screwing up. But I think it looks pretty dang good.
So some of the things when I walked through with Shar, I said, what things would you not be okay having changed? And there's some accent walls that have been colored. There's a blue one and an orange one specifically. People might be wondering, well, why did you leave that orange accent wall? Well, this family has twins. 13 years ago, tragically, one of their twins passed away. His name was Mason. And Mason's favorite color was orange. So in honor of Mason, Dave always wore orange, and they loved the color orange. So you'll see it throughout their house, but they painted those walls, and she wanted to make sure that those things never got changed. Not only because it was Mason, but because it was Dave and their family project that they painted those walls together. So there's some sacred things in the house, and those walls are sacred because of the color and because Dave and the family did that together. That's pretty cool that we're able to keep those elements and still make it look good with the whole finished project. So yeah. Dave's gonna love it. Char's gonna love it.
Oh my god. You guys. Whoa.
Who's asking this again?
Yeah. This is beautiful. Wow. Oh my gosh. Such a dream. I can't even like.
Come check out.
You have to stay like that. Look at this. I can't even. Miracle Burger. And the carpet? You guys have there's carpet up here? Oh my gosh, that looks so Abby! She just hated the color. So, oh my gosh, Abby.
Hey, it's all organized now.
Oh, finally.
Finally.
Which one tried? Wow. The carpet looks so good. The ceiling fan. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Look at that.
Oh my god!
Oh, I didn't even know
Robin's
that.
first!
Are you kidding? Aww, Wilson.
Turn it on, Wilson.
I'm so good!
I just every time I come along, I remember that God loves me. He's aware of us. You know what I mean? Like I will never stop being grateful and aware of that. Like, oh my gosh. Like it'll just be the reminder. Like we're not forgotten. Life's right. So life's right.